What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as most of you know by now, Horizon Forbidden West implemented patch 1.08 this morning, which should hopefully bring us more bug fixes, game improvements, things like that. And I know for a lot of players out there, you've been dealing with some gameplay issues since the game came out, and we're not just talking about visual issues, whether it's been shimmering or things like that. We're talking about major gameplay issues, things in regards to story progression, mission completion, things like that. So hopefully today, if you were having issues with those problems, they are now solved. And as always, please remember, if there's anything you're dealing with in the game that they do not talk about in these notes, please let me know in the comments section down below, and I will try to get you answers as quick as I can. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we have giveaways here, one of which being a $100 gift card to the PlayStation Store. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on April 4th of this year. So we're going to start off with a list of known issues, and I want to make sure I mention this is not all of the known issues that they're working on. This is just a handful, and as you can see, they are continuing to investigate and tweak the reported graphical issues regarding shimmering, sharpening, and screen saturation. Some people have reported multiple issues with various types of traversal after the player fast travels to any campfire while gliding inside of a tornado. Finally, some players have reported an issue with receiving the reward after completing the black box collectible activity. Now, this is something that I've heard from a lot of players, and unfortunately at the top of this page, they said, please note that these issues are not yet fixed in this patch, but our teams are investigating them with high priority. Now, I know they said the exact same thing last week, and I'm hoping within the next week or so they actually get the problem solved. And actually, in regards to the black box collectible issue, a lot of you have reached out to the channel asking if I've had a problem with that, and my answer is no. I've been able to complete it. I didn't have any issues, with a roadblock or anything like that. And what I find strange is from all the different people I've talked to, there are people who are having the issue on PS4, PS5, and I always find it just kind of weird why it affects some players and not others. So again, my friends, as soon as I have any more answers or get any information, I will definitely pass it along. Now moving on to some of the fixes that were made to main quests and side quests as well. Now I don't want to waste your time, read everything word for word. However, I will leave a link to the patch notes in the description down below. That way you can check them out anytime you want. You can see here that just some of the fixes that were implemented were they fixed an issue in the main quest To the Brink where using Silent Strike on a quest-specific bristleback would teleport the player to Chain Scrape. They also fixed an issue in the main quest The Dying Lands where Aloy's companions would not lead the way after restarting from a specific save. Continuing on, they fixed an issue in the main quest The Broken Sky where reloading a certain save could sometimes disable fast travel unintentionally. And finally, they fixed an issue in the main quest Cradle of Echoes where loading a save created on the previous patch would cause Aloy to be stuck at the base. Now keep in mind, these main quest issues as well as the side quest ones I'm about to go over should be fixed as of now. So make sure you download the new patch. Everything should be working, and again, if it is not, my friends, please let me know in the comments section down below and I'll see if I can find any workaround whatsoever. Once again, you can see here there are a bunch of side quests that they worked on as well. They fixed an issue in the side quest What Was Lost where Katala would sometimes become unresponsive when reloading from a specific save. They fixed an issue in the side quest Forbidden Legacy where fast traveling during the Slitherfang encounter would cause the machine not to respawn, thus blocking progression. And finally, at the bottom, they fixed an issue in the errand quest Call and Response where killing the enemies before receiving the objective to do so could block progression as well. And I think for so many gamers out there, the progression blocking is the one thing that's driving you absolutely crazy. So hopefully, my friends, everything does work at this time. We are now going to jump into some of the world activities that were fixed. You can see that they fixed an issue in Gauntlet Run where passing the finish line in last place would result in a win in specific circumstances, which actually sounds kind of awesome because it took me forever to actually finish that thing, so part of me wishes I knew about that. They also fixed several issues with specific Fire Gleam and Metal Flower icons not being displayed on the map, fixed an issue where the Fire Gleam icons would not be correctly removed from the map once the related activity was completed, and finally they fixed an issue where fast travel would be disabled in specific circumstances when loading a save made while playing Machine Strike. Now, as far as the graphics, performance, and stability fixes that were implemented, they don't really give a specific list. They mention a few things. They say that they fixed multiple graphic fixes and improvements in cinematics, multiple visual improvements in shadows and clouds. They also mention they fixed an issue where photo mode controls would be frozen while initiating photo mode during a swan dive. Now, moving on to performance and stability, they say there have been multiple crash fixes, multiple performance and streaming improvements in cinematics. They removed multiple unintentional loading screens and black screens, and finally, they fixed multiple instances of streaming and visual popping. Finally, my friends, we're going to go over some of the things that were on the page just labeled other as far as other fixes that were implemented. Now, a few that I want to point out are they fixed several instances where Aloy could get stuck in geometry, which is a really good thing. I heard from a lot of you out there saying you're cruising along, you get stuck between like a rock and a tree, and you have to reload, and it just becomes a hot mess. And secondly, they say they made several balancing changes to weapons and enemies, and in my mind it sounds like buffs or nerfs. I don't know exactly what's going on. They're not giving us specifics, so as soon as I find out any information, I will definitely pass it along. The last thing I want to mention in the notes is they say at the bottom they fixed multiple instances of specific music tracks getting stuck and repeating, and I know for so many of you out there it was driving you crazy. I didn't even realize it was happening, to be honest with you. I'm just, focused playing on the game. However, in my last video, so many people reached out saying, hey, are they going to fix that issue with the music? So then I became hyper-focused on listening to the music, and I heard it as well. So hopefully, my friends, it is now fixed, so we will not need to deal with that repetitiveness over and over. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this thing up. However, I want to remind you again, if you are having any issues that I did not mention in this video or you do not see that are fixed, that are supposed to be fixed, please let me know in the comments section. I'll try to find out as much information as I can. Now, most of you know, one of my main goals at the channel is to always provide a fair and balanced assessment of a game, regardless of my own gameplay, because again, my gameplay does not affect you. I always want to let you know what's going on in the community. That way you can figure out, hey, is this just happening on my end, or other people are dealing with it, and hopefully can help you find some answers. And while I know there are some issues in game that people have been dealing with since launch, the fact that they have put out a patch every week since launch, in my opinion, means they're obviously completely and totally dedicated to giving us the best game experience possible, so I'm really looking forward to see the continued changes and improvements. I'd also like to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support in regards to my Horizon Forbidden West content. I just started making videos for this game. I'm having so much fun. The community is amazing. So thank you all for your incredible support and becoming a part of this family. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I said at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.